Live from the Persephone Theatre in the Ramey Arts Centre on the banks of the South Saskatchewan River in beautiful downtown Saskatchewan. Good afternoon and welcome to Why Ag Matters, an agricultural dialogue with Saskatchewan political parties.
Now we have Dale Leftwich from SaskCanola to bring a question from their membership. Dale?
Yes, thank you very much to the panel for being here today. We're very happy that you're all taking agriculture so seriously. It is, in fact, a hugely important thing to all of the people of Saskatchewan, and thank you again for being here. I have a question about social license. In the age of endless information at our fingertips, consumers continue to question modern farming practices, which are widely used in our province to produce safe and nutritious food. As an industry, we have spent a lot of time defending these practices, which have been developed with a foundation of science. We have recently learned it is more about building trust with urban consumers and having conversations in order to change the perception some folks have about the safety of our food. At SaskCanola, we have produced a documentary to encourage farmers to have conversations in order to build those relationships based on trust. It's called License to Farm, and I hope you've all looked at it, and it's provided you an opportunity to talk with people about it. What will you do to protect Saskatchewan farmers' right to farm?
Thank you very much, Dale. And we're going to just give the panel, a few seconds to ponder that, because it was a question that wasn't part of the 10 in the preliminary document. And you have a minute to address it, and we're going to start with Rick, and then Ryan, Kathy, Lau, and Darren.
Thank you for the question. It's very topical today. The food industry isn't much different than politics. What you want is the maximum of accountability and transparency. And I think we've done a pretty good job of both of them in agriculture. A lot of our products that we grow today in our farms are developed right within the province, either at the University of Saskatchewan or through various organizations. So we're pretty comfortable. The problem is we can't eat all of our production. We have to export it, and those people have to feel comfortable. And so I think what we need to do is put in place the same type of rules that we would expect with our tax dollars when it comes to that accountability and transparency. And I think the food industry understands that. And if consumers can see that, they won't question the science. You're always going to have people that have their own theories. We can't do anything about that. Thank you, Rick.
Ryan LaMarche.
Yes, well, I think that answering that question, I think a key thing to it a lot of times is to try to start with education is going to be a key thing. Saskatchewan used to be the hub of agricultural education throughout the world at one time, and over the years it's been weakened down, and there's little bits of rebuilding, but we got to continue the modernization from looking at new types of crops that we can grow, diversity of crops, as well expand that into the livestock field and other farming areas. Those are key factors that we need to do, I believe. As well, I also believe that looking at organic farming and other methods as well and introducing that is going to be another factor that could really help. And as well, let the people decide. If science is very strong and can prove its record, label it if it's a GMO food or if it's a regular-based food. Let the people have the choice. Most people trust the science, and there's a lot of money put into the science. And I think overall that the food agricultural areas have been very good at it.
Thank you very much. Kathy.
Thanks for the question. I was actually very pleased to be able to be at the world premiere of License to Farm, and I think you're on the right track. And obviously, as a group of producers that know the story you need to tell, I think those kinds of vehicles are incredibly important. Obviously, a government should be supporting each grower group to be able to do those kinds of things to tell their story, and we've seen some action on the part of this government to do that. I think we need to provide consumers with the confidence they need. You're struggling with the internet, with all sorts of things. If you go on the internet right now, you can find both sides of any story. And so I think it's an issue of marketing and telling the story, and I think I really want to commend the canola growers for that initiative, and I think we would certainly want to support that as we go forward in the future, is making sure those stories are properly told and that consumers are able to see the full story.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Lyle?
Thank you very much, Dale. That's a good question, and you know, the Saskatchewan Party strongly supports science-based solutions in agriculture as in other areas, and the science, and particularly GMOs, the science around GMOs is conclusive that GMOs are good, healthy, safe food. We will continue to resist efforts to, you know, sort of denigrate GMOs by labeling them as something that might not be so good. And ag awareness is another thing, and our party has taken an initiative to try and retrain people about what really goes on in agriculture and how not only efficient but also environmentally sustainable it is these days.
Thank you very much, Lyle. And thank you, Dale, for bringing that question forward on behalf of SaskCanola.
Oh, Darren.
Pardon? Oh, Darren.
That's fine. Hopefully I still get my minute.
Absolutely, absolutely. I apologize for that.
Okay, well, that's what we were talking earlier about. The nice thing about farming business and farming industry is it's one generation passing the farm on to the next generation. This is where the kids growing up are learning what it is to be a farmer. As we had said earlier about our platform, is the fact that we need to be putting the money into the University of Saskatchewan in order to increase the agriculture department so we have a better understanding of what the global markets are expecting from what we're producing. If we can combine the both of the generational farmer growing up and taking over the farm and educating them on the process of what's going to be acceptable in global markets, combined with the fact of opening the markets up globally for your products, this is what will make Saskatchewan a very successful province.
Thank you very much, Darren. I apologize for moving past you there too quickly. Thank you all for your thoughtful and considered responses. There are still several areas of interest to cover, but let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Norm?